Thank you for the amazing feedback on the last Hungarian Tech Tree video. It's been amazing, you guys are awesome, and well, you guys asked for it. You wanted me to do the light tank line for the Hungarian Tech Tree, the final line, and because you asked and you were awesome, you will get exactly that. Anyways guys, I just want to say the creators of this line are in contact with someone from Wargaming, which means there might be great things regarding this tech tree in the future. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Now, the Toldi I is the first tank in this tech tree, starting the beloved Toldi tank line that ends at tier 4. And there's nothing much in regards to this tank, but its armour is 35mm on the front, 23 on the side, and 16mm on the rear of the hull, and 25, 13 and 19mm on the turret, so 25 being the front, 23 being the side, and 19 being the rear on the tank's turret. The tank also has a 20mm solo fern. This has 42mm of penetration and does 12 HP of damage on standard rounds, and it will be an autoloader, so do not worry about that. Coming in at tier 3 is the 42M Toldi II. The Toldi II is probably one of the most known tanks in the tech tree, apart from the Toldi III, which is in World of Tanks. I'm pretty sure this one looks pretty much identical to the Toldi III in World of Tanks, so you can easily do a model swap. The tank's armor wise is 35, 23 and 13mm all around on the hull, and 35, 23 and 19mm on the turret as well, which makes this turret decently well armoured. The tank also goes 50 km per hour, making it nice and zippy on the battlefield. The tank has a choice of 3 guns: the 20mm solo fern, the 36M 40mm, and the 37-42M 40mm L45. The solo fern is on the tier 2. 36M has 58mm of penetration and does 45 HP of damage on standard rounds, while the 37-42M has 64mm of penetration and does 45 HP of damage, making it a decently well armoured tank at tier 3. Now, the 2A is the last tracked tank in this tech tree, which is very concerning for me because the French wheeled light tanks start at tier 6 and not tier 5. However, this is the final wee Toldi in this list, and it's got a decent gun as well. Firstly, the tank's armour is the exact same as the tank before it: 35, 23 and 13mm on the hull, the exact same apart from 19mm on the rear of the turret, making this the strongest tank in the whole of this light tank line. The tank also goes 50 km per hour, which is great for a tier 4 light tank. You know, at least you can outrun an AMX 40. The tank has a choice of 3 guns: the 36M 40mm, 37-42M 40mm L45, and the 38M 5cm L60 50. The first 2 guns are on the tier 3 Toldi, but the other one does 72mm of penetration and 70 HP of damage on standard rounds on the 38M. Coming in at tier 5 is the 35M AC2. Now, you see, tier 5 is a problem for me. If you look at the French wheeled light tanks, they start at tier 6, while this starts at tier 5. I do not believe Wargaming would want to move this to tier 5. Instead, get a replacement tank at tier 5 and then get rid of this and start at tier 6 for the wheeled light tanks. Anyways, the AC2 has, well, its hull is atrocious. It's 9mm all around on the hull and 13mm on the front, 8 on the side and 6 on the rear of the turret. With a decent top speed of 65 km per hour, you'll be outrunning pretty much everything at tier 5. The tank has a choice of 3 guns: the 37-42M 40mm L45, the 38M 5cm L60 50, and the 38M L60. The first 2 are on the tier 4, so the third gun, the 38M 5cm L60, does 99mm of penetration and 70 HP of damage on standard rounds, which is very nice for this little race car at tier 5. At tier 6 we have the 39M Csaba. This tank is one of my problems in the tech tree because I don't actually think it fits in its tier, especially with its stock gun, but let's see how it goes. Its hull armour is 9mm all around, and its turret is the exact same as the tier 5s, being 13, 8 and 6 in its its respected areas, which means anything will go through it, even HE on a tier 1 tank. This tank's top speed is 70 kilometers per hour, which means it's going to zoom by anything at its tier. The tank has 2 guns, the 20mm solo fern and the 38M 5cm L60. The 20mm has 42mm of penetration and does 27 HP of damage, and I believe this is an auto-loading gun, while the L60 is not an auto-loading gun with 90mm of penetration and 70 HP of damage, making it worse than the French tier 6 wheeled light tank. Tier 7 is the D442 FUG. The FUG is a domestically made Hungarian amphibious vehicle which has some decent gun choices, in my opinion better than the tier 8s. The tank's armour is poor, being 15mm all around the hull and 15mm on the front and 10 on the side and the rear of the turret. The tank's top speed is 75 kilometers per hour, which is very strong for its tier. The tank has 2 gun choices, the 64mm RV1 and the 94mm RV2. The RV1 has 128mm of penetration and does 100 HP of damage on standard rounds, while the RV2 has 188mm of penetration and does 280 HP of damage on standard rounds, which is an amazing amount of damage and penetration for a wheeled light tank at tier 7. This is the PSZH. This tank stats wise is basically a downgrade to the tier 7, so be warned. This will be like the TVP VTU in the Czechoslovakian medium tank line. Terrible. The PSZH has 15mm all around the hull in terms of armour and 15, 10 and 10 on the turret in its respected areas, meaning any HE shells can tear through this tank, which I'm pretty sure my tier 4's HE shells could do that. The tank's top speed is 80 kilometers per hour, yet again really high, and it only gets higher from here. The tank has a choice of 2 guns, the 14.5mm KPVT and the AZP S60 57mm L49. The 14.5mm KPVT has 56mm of penetration and does 15 HP of damage. It's an autoloader as well, meaning that 15 HP of damage will be coming at you like a Panzer 1C at tier 3. The AZP, however, has 130mm of penetration and does 75 HP of damage, which is similar to the tier 9 and worse than the tier 7. I don't know what's going on here. The gun stats are just getting worse. The second last ever Hungarian tank that I will cover in this whole series is the PSZH 6x6. The tier 9 in this tech tree, a very fast little sports car, a lot bigger than the French vehicle, so it will be relatively easy to hit. This guy had 19mm on the front, 18 on the side and 15mm on the rear for the hull, and 30, 20 and 10mm on the turret, meaning that you could technically get away with some bouncers on the turret if you were to go hull down, but I don't think you'd do that in a wheeled vehicle. The tank also has a 90 km per hour top speed. The tank has a choice of 2 guns, the AZP S60 57mm L49 and the AZP S60 57mm L77. The L49 is on the tier 8, so I don't need to cover it, while the L77 has 130mm of penetration and does 75 HP of damage on standard rounds, which is relatively less than the French wheelies and pretty much the same as the tier 8's top gun. And finally, the tank that you've all been waiting for, the last ever tank that I'll cover in this tech tree, the PSZH2, the crown jewel of the Hungarian light tanks or wheeled light tank. This tank has 20mm of frontal hull armour, 18 on the side and 15mm on the rear of the hull, and the turret is 40, 20 and 20 in its respected areas, 40 on the front, 20 on the side and 20 on the rear, meaning it could troll some tank with its armour. The top speed is also extremely fast, being 100 kilometers per hour. Yet again, like the tier 9, this will face the same fate and be nerfed. The tank's top gun is the 2A28 Grom 73mm, which has 200mm of penetration and does 180 HP of damage. So this is the end of the tech tree, and I just want to thank the creators of this tech tree for creating such an awesome tech tree proposal and making models for them, doing over the stats like anyone would, but they've gone an extra mile, and I really hope they make it into the game. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank them, and I want to thank the community that's been backing this project. You are awesome, and I really hope you've enjoyed this this video. I really love the feedback and the love that you've given my Hungarian Tech Tree videos. So if you're here and you've enjoyed this series, you can check out the other episodes. And if you want to check out all my other World of Tanks videos, you can. I upload World of Tanks and other games information videos on Mondays, and on Fridays I upload funny moments videos. I want to apologise for my voice at the moment. I have a blocked nose, and so my voice is a bit bungy. As you can tell, I couldn't really pronounce that word. Now, anyways, if there's any future updates to this tech tree in the future, or any other tech trees you want me to go over, let me know in the comments below. I have a Discord server and a game Discord server and website, which you can go and check out in the description. But if you really do enjoy it, be sure to like and subscribe and share it to your friend. And you've been awesome. I'll see you in the next one.